Good morning, everyone. How are we doing out there? Wake Up Justin is live today for 111. Hold on. 1119 2025, November 19th, 2025. Video day. I want to touch on a couple things that I was talking about yesterday. One being the concept of take what you need, not what you want. And when I was talking about it, I was thinking I didn't really expand on what I meant by that. I feel like maybe when I do streams, whatever, I might keep on going back. I mean, I rewatch my morning monologue streams. I clip them out and I edit them, whatever. I edit my streams, so I rewatch my streams when I edit them, because I'm only one person. I don't have a team behind me. So I do all my own editing and everything. So I always watch my own streams. Just, I put on two times the speed when I watch them or whatever. But I was talking yesterday about take what you need and not what you want. I think that goes out when I was thinking about that kind of concept. I was kind of thinking more of like in a monetary way of like money and cash and things like that. The more I think about it, though, and the more I have thought about it when I was watching the video, that that expands throughout your whole life, not just like a monetary value way, but take what you need, not what you want. That goes for everything, dude. It's like, yeah, everyone wants, a super hot chick or whatever it may be, or a good looking guy, whatever. But it's like you may want that, but it's like do you really need that though? Because that, even though looks can fool. Just because they're good looking doesn't mean that they're good for you or that you need them in your life. I've definitely, had good looking women in my life, and they were a complete mess and ruined my life because it's something I wanted, not what I needed. And that's one aspect. Same thing with money. Same thing, just like it's like being disciplined and doing the right thing, man, and doing what you need. Like, I need to get sleep at night, but I want to stay up later because it's like some of my, like yesterday, I was at work basically all day from 11 to like 7:30, whatever. So it's like for me, I got up, did my stream, went to the gym, and like when I go home at night, it's like, okay, now I want some me time to myself to do what I want to do to like kind of relax a little bit. But it's like that's almost me being like selfish in a way, because that's what I want to do. It's not what I need to do. What I need to do is go to bed early so I can get up early in the morning to come on stream, get the stream going, go to the gym and repeat, wash, rinse, repeat cycle, that same thing over and over again. You need to find out what you need in life and what your needs are. And when you find what your needs are in life, you take those needs and then you wash, repeat, rinse, cycle, whatever it is. Wash, rinse, wash, repeat cycle. You need to find those needs, those things, and keep on doing that over and over again. But you got to make sure that that is what you need, though, because it's like at the end of the day, you, the viewer at home, whatever it may be, you should know what you need in life. You should know, like, I need to go to bed early. I need to get up at this time, and all these things. You need to really think about your schedule and your work schedule and everything like that, and then just start meticulously going through it and find out what you need, and then keep on doing those things over and over again until you perfect it almost in a way. I guarantee you, you will become successful, and success comes in many different forms. I'm not saying like, you're going to get $1 million, live in a mansion, and have a Maserati or whatever it may be, but you could become, for me, it'd be more so like getting out of debt, start building things and, not relying so much on other people and other things for income, security, and being more reliant on myself and being more self-sufficient and all those things. That would be my vision of like success. It wouldn't be like I live in a huge, $20 million mansion and be like, I'm healthy. Um, I'm healthy. I have drive, I have focus. Um, like I said, I can live comfortably. I'm not relying on anyone or anything but myself to provide for myself, my own protection, my own peace of mind, all those things. You should be fully self-sufficient in life and only rely on yourself and no one else. And I can only speak from a male's perspective because that's what I am. I can't tell you, I can't tell you the female perspective because I'm not a female. I can kind of figure out, how they think and like what they do and everything, but like for me to sit here and be like, yeah, I can't tell you that. I can only give you a perspective from, a 30-year-old male living in America. This is my perspective. I can give you my perspective and I can transmute my life experiences into knowledge by my failures and learning how to fix them. So, take what you need, not what you want type thing. Now, watch. I watch people talk. I lean more heavy into Christianity than anything. And that has been more so in the last couple of months that I'm more leaning into it more so now than ever because the time, I think, yeah, well, man, once again, I don't I don't mind talking about these things, but before I dive into these things, these thoughts, ideas, everything are solely my own. No one else's. There's no one behind the curtain. I don't care. I'll say what I want, do what I want. No one on here. I don't care. You could shadow ban me for. I don't care. I'll come on here every single day and do the exact same thing I've been doing the whole time. I'm not afraid to speak the truth. I have an opinion. I'm gonna say it. You're not gonna suppress what I have to say or my thoughts. I really don't care. I think a lot of people don't even try to do this kind of thing because they know, like, I need to make this a little bigger. All right, that's better. Because they know that, like, even if they come on here and try to say things that I think they're afraid that they're going to be, like, banned or whatever, or they're not going to be able to say what they want to say. Dude, I don't care, bro. I don't care. I'll come here and say whatever I want. Censor me all you want. I don't care. It's not going to stop me from saying what I want. I have an opinion, dude. So with that being said, I think everyone you see on YouTube, all the main players from the right wing, the middle, the left, whatever it may be, if they are very popular in the public eye, they're in on it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be that popular in the first place. I believe all of them are in on it. Name someone. I don't care. Shapiro, Alex Jones, whoever it may be. I don't even care. Don Lemon, all those people. They're all in on it, dude. They're all in it. Because like in life itself, you understand, dude. They would never let someone have that much power without having control over them. Because how much power they actually have. They don't have power. Once again, sorry. I don't try to say, it's not power, it's control. I got like rewire my brain the way I think again. Because no one on this earth has real power, first of all. I'll put that there again. No one on earth has power. No one. They have control. No one has power on this earth. I don't have power. You don't have power. No one does. So these people you see on TV and on your cell phone screens and whoever it may be, left, right, whatever. They don't have power. They don't. They have control. God has the power. So I want just to put out there, when I say power, I got to rewire my brain. I don't mean power because I'm not trying to disrespect God by saying that people are more powerful than him because they're not. It's control. They control your mind, your thoughts, your ideas, how you speak and what you say. That's that's not even power. Once again, they don't have power, but that's their control. It's a very fine line. Power and control also, two complete opposite things that seem similar, but they're not, you know? So anyways, these people you see on social media, all of them, I don't give a shit who they are. Fuentes, Alex Jones, Don Lemon, Sean Hannity, what's her face on CNN, the other one on I don't care. Joy Behar, whoever it is, dude, they're all controlled. All of them. For the fact that like they would never let, dude, the networks and YouTube and whatever, like even me coming on here and speaking like this, I know for a fact this isn't going to go anywhere because I know for a fact they're watching and listening. They're not literally watching me, but the AI they have, is listening to what I'm saying and stuff like that, and then dictating whether what I say is within their guidelines of whatever it may be. And then, you get, I believe your videos, stuff like that, get pushed based on what you say and what you do. But I believe all of them are just controlled oppositions. I believe none of them really have actual real like thoughts or it's all controlled. It's all controlled. It's all controlled. All of it is. I know it is because it's like they're so like you can just see it in them, man. There's just very like self-conceiting, self-feeding, just like, and it's not the teachings of Jesus and what he would want, like the hatred that comes out of their mouths towards the other side, and just like making fun of other people and things like that. It's just like I see it. I'm like, dude, this is not like it doesn't line up. It does not line up with what I believe in and what I think at all. It just doesn't. Like, you can't say you care about people and stuff like that, and then you go on your stream, on your show to 100,000 people and you make fun of the other side, whether it's lighthearted or not. You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna offend people, and then I guess you can get to the fact of like, well, people are gonna be offended no matter what you do. Yeah, but you're not trying to like help anyone though. Like you are making fun of people for clicks and views and whatever it may be. And like I said too, last video, my new mantra and the way I practice things, take what you need, not what you want. And you gotta think, even like I used to watch Andrew Tate back in the day, I will admit, and I kind of pulled away from him for the fact that like I remember watching his videos back in the day. He would make fun of people that played video games, right? He would sit there and go, "You shouldn't play video games. It's a waste of your time." And guess what? All of a sudden, he's fucking playing Smash Bros with his brother. So you're gonna sit there and tell people what to do? You sit there and say you can't play video games, but then in return you're playing video games? Go fuck yourself, Tate. Seriously. How dare you, dude? Tell people to do things and you go do it yourself, bro. Come on. You're gonna sit there and tell people don't do this, don't do that, and then months later you're doing what you're saying you shouldn't do? So you're a hypocrite? Get out of here, dude. I never, wasn't he on like Aiden Ross's stream, whatever that one? I used to watch Tate. Was he on Aiden Ross's stream that one time saying you shouldn't play video games, they're a waste of time, I never play video games, and then months later he's playing video games? Come on. Wake up, people. You're being played, dude. Yo, at least admit it. At least admit it. If he admitted it, and I think he did too. I think he said like, I used to play games back in the day, but I don't play them anymore. Who has time for that? And now he's playing video games. Dude, okay. you know? I'll look it up though, but I'm pretty sure he did say that many of times, you know? So it's like, you gotta like watch people's actions and what they do. And like, once I realized that, once I saw that, is when I stopped following it and when I stopped listening to the guy. So I realized he was just lying. He's playing a character, dude. He's lying to everyone. He's just playing a character, man. That's all it is. It's a character, dude. They're all playing characters, bro. Everyone you see on your cell phone screen, on YouTube, or whatever, dude, it's all a character. They're not real. They found at one point, I believe at one point, everyone that starts, you know, like those guys probably started off real. They probably did, and then they realized what the algorithm picked up on, and they took the easy route to get to where they're at. You know, like I told you before, dude. I realized that if I started playing video games more and more and clipping out that kind of stuff, it got way more views than me sitting here and talking to you guys every morning. So like it kind of like I could have taken the easy out. I could sit here and stream video games 3 hours. I mean, it's not that very hard. I get it. I know. I mean, I get the formula. You know, it's dude, because like you're farming people's attention span online, right? So what's the easiest way to get people's attention? What's the easiest way you can? What is the easiest way to garner people's attention to waste their time watching your videos to gain money? What is it? Play a video game, dude. It's a self-driven story, and all you're doing is walking through it and just filming yourself doing it and then uploading it into pieces and just uploading, and then you're farming the content within that game that is the highlight of that story. So no, if you're playing whatever, you're playing Fallout, right? Well, then you would only clip out the highlights from that game and just send those out. You wouldn't, you know, clip out you walking to a mission. You would clip out the main parts of the mission you're playing. And it's easy because it's already there for you. It's already been done. You're not really creating anything. So it's not that, you know, now, moving on to the president of the United States, President Trump. Straw man. I believe President Trump was a straw man the whole time. He's a straw man. 100% he is. I believe the attempt on his life. Maybe staged, you know, just for the fact it's like, dude, it's just like in wrestling, bro. People blade themselves in wrestling to look like they got injured. You know what I mean? So it's like he felt, you know, it's a whole thing. But I believe I believe he's a straw man. And I believe you know, I was watching his interview yesterday with him and the Saudi prince in the Oval Office, right? And I get like, so I think what happened to the United States in general is like, you know, so the United States civilization on the decline, whether it was done purposely or it was done by our own ignorance, thinking about like what we watched, what we created, and how we spoke, and all those things didn't matter, when in fact they really did matter. Like us putting violence in video games, us putting sex in movies, us putting vulgar language in our music, all those things and a lot of those things in our society has degraded our society, and that would have been our own ignorance. Or is it that there is an opposition trying to literally dumb us down enough to make our infrastructure and our base of society slowly degrade, right? So it's like, you gotta think at one point, United States, right? Superpower, very superpower, right? We caused quite, you know, we did cause a lot of destruction and mayhem throughout the world, right? And then as time goes by, we start losing our power slowly and slowly because the children we're raising and our society we live in, the United States, is slowly starting to degrade and demoralize itself, right? And as that's happening, right? The jobs and what we produce and what we do and how we live is getting more in a decline, decline, decline. You understand the United States is a business. First and foremost, in their eyes, it's a business. We sell goods, we export things. You know, you might not realize it because you might work at a hair salon, or like me, I work at a small business, a restaurant. So you don't see, but like if you worked at like a factory that's shipping auto parts across the world, you would kind of realize like, the bigger picture of like what the United States actually is. Um, Once again, perspective on how you look at things. You can zoom in or you can zoom out. You could look at, like I said, I work in a small business inside a city, right? Well, then it's like I'm only looking at it as, well, my city, instead of being like, well, you work at a small business inside a city, inside a state, and the states make up, the United States of America. So I think, like I said, perspectives on how you look at things. You can zoom in or you can zoom out of things. I think it's also a very important thing to realize. So America degrading, whether it was our own ignorance and our own stupidity or was done to us, we still don't know yet. We'll find that out later. So that gets degraded. What we make and what we make and what we produce, our goods, become less and less. Factories start closing more and more. People start losing their jobs more and more. Right? Now we're in this state where it's like we're in a limbo. I believe that people that actually, and this is why I say I believe that Trump was a straw man and all of it, whatever, and stuff like that. It's because I believe the people that actually like I believe the hidden hand that runs the government, right, realized that we were in shit. The business itself, the United States as a business itself was in financial ruins. Obviously, we're in tons of debt, right? And the people that run it, I believe, thought to themselves, well, how do we fix this problem? Who can we get to fix our problems? I know. Let's get the best businessman we can think of. Well, who's the best businessman we have in the United States? Whether you love him or hate him, he probably is the best businessman we have in the United States, just for the fact that he comes from old money. He has an ungodly amount of connections in business, I imagine, throughout the world, throughout all his business dealings he's done his whole life, through his father and now him, and then his sons, right? So I believe they put him in office on purpose to be the CEO of the business of the United States. Right? Because you gotta realize, dude, to be president of the United States, you don't need to be a smart person. I don't need to know how to build a rocket to be the president. I don't know like the president of the United States doesn't need to know how to solve mathematical equations or know quantum physics or all that kind of stuff. You just need to be a businessman, dude. You need connections. You know how to talk to people, how to work with people, how to build relationships, how to make a deal, all those things. That's what truly matters. You don't need to be a genius to be the president. You realize that, right? So for him to get in office really isn't that big a surprise. Anyone can run for it. I can run for president if I wanted to. So I believe he was a straw man put on there on purpose to solve the United States business financial crisis we were in, right? And that's what he's doing right now. I can see it with him and the Saudi prince. I realized what they were doing is that, like, the United States is, in financial trouble, right? But he has so many connections, whatever. He's like, all right, but this is why people realize that he ran on a campaign, America first, Americans first, whatever, to win the vote. But at the same time, he's walking a fine line because he knows that American citizens are degraded by the fact of that the future of it isn't looking the best because of kids these days and all the internet, and like I said, our own ignorance has kind of polluted the water a little bit. So for him to do that, he's making deals with other countries to invest in the United States their money. Um, so they're gonna get a little piece of the U.S. because no one's gonna give us money without anything in return. Nothing's free in this world, right? The Saudi prince is giving us X amount of dollars. Obviously, he's getting something in return, whether it be bomber jets, airport, visas for his friends. So like, you understand, if the Saudi prince is like, all right, I'll give you, $500 billion, right? But in return, I want X amount of jets. I want X amount of visas for my friends, blah, blah. So they can come in here into the United States, set up businesses in the US, wherever it may be, and then enrich themselves in the US. And, I mean, it's all, dude, it's a whole thing. And that's the thing, too. It's like, yes, he's putting American first because he's bringing in money to the US. But then it's like, no, he's not, because then it's from a foreign country, and they're going to bring in other people from there. So it's like we kind of did to I'm not sure we did to ourselves by allowing us to be tricked and fooled in such a way where pieces of the United States are just being taken away from us and we don't realize it. But it almost has to be done in a kind of way because of how far we fell behind. So it's kind of like a thing of our own doing. Or like I said, is it or is it purposely being done? Are we purposely being betrayed by everyone we thought that we entrusted our power to? That's the question. I think it's slowly. I think people are. I really do think people are slowly starting to wake up to the fact that, like, we've been scammed the whole time, dude. There is no winning until the people stand up and say enough is enough and realize we're all being played, dude. We're all being played, man. We're all being played. You guys need to realize that. All of us, every religion, every sex, every walk of life. If you have two legs on this earth and you're walking in the United States, you're being played. Not only by the government, by Satan himself also. And like I said too, this is just, the government and everything is just a veil. It's a show to really what's behind the curtain, which is the spiritual world of, good and, of God and Satan. It's the checkerboard we live on. You're living on the checkerboard of good and evil. I don't know how else to explain it to you. You're living in it. I believe Satan has control of this world. I believe God gave Satan control of this world to test everyone on this planet of how good you really are and how much you really care about God and his son and how much you serve and sacrifice to him and his son. I believe that's what we're doing here. And you can go on my streams and my shorts. I always say, if everyone is a good person in this world, how would you test the goodness in human hearts? I just gave you the answer. This is how you test the goodness in humans' hearts, is you put them in Satan's control. That's how you test the good of someone's heart. Beat you down, dude. What do you want to do? Give it to me. Give me the pain. Give me the suffering. I'll eat it for breakfast all day long, every day. I think I told you months ago, I used to walk home at night and look up at the sky at nighttime while I was home from work and tell me, give me something hard. Give me a challenge. Harder, harder. Give me a hard challenge. Come on. That's what it is, man. That's how God is testing how good we are, is leaving us in Satan's control on earth, on the checkerboard of good versus evil. And some win and some lose. That's why you're born into sin. You're born to sin with a pure heart. And that's real. I know it's a deep. I mean, it's a hard pill to swallow. I get it. I think a lot of people will go. Like I said, a lot of people get lost in the matrix, man. They get lost in the veils over their eyes. I think it's slowly starting to lift up, and people are starting to see. But I think people are starting to see in a way of like they're not. How do I put it? They're not getting the full picture, maybe in a way, kind of, in a sense of they see a little bit. It's like this. It's like you have your hands over your eyes, and then your fingers kind of spread apart, and you can see like in between your fingers a little bit. I think that's where we're at right now. Is people are starting to see in between their fingers a little bit like this. You know what I mean? Like you have your hands over your eyes, right, and then your fingers spread apart. You can kind of see through your fingers a little bit, but you can't fully see. This is where we're at right now, I believe. There's like people can see a little bit through their fingers. Wait till the whole hand comes off the face, and you can see fully what's in front of you. Wait till that happens. That's when revelations will happen. And I'm not sure when the truth comes out if people will be able to even handle the truth when it comes out, just for how dark it's going to be and how evil it's going to be. And I'm not sure if people are ready for that, to be able to handle that kind of truth. I really don't, because a lot of people worship these people like idols and think that their word is holy and that what they do is holy and that they do no wrong. And they built their whole lives around a certain person's way that's not even their own. And the truth came out about how dark and evil some of these people are. I think a lot of people, I don't know. I don't think a lot of people can handle it. The truth may be so dark it may destroy us. That's why it hasn't been out yet, because they're too afraid of what could happen from it. That's why I believe the Epstein files all come out will be mostly redacted, for the fact that, like, the truth. I believe the truth ever came out about Epstein and what they were really doing and what was really going on, you would have World War III in about 5 seconds, I believe. For real. You really would. That's why they don't want to release it, bro, because they know that it would cause it's going to cause a shit ton of chaos. It's just you can't avoid it anymore. That's the thing. You can't. People are too up in arms about it, man. It won't go away, and it shouldn't go away. That kind of stuff shouldn't go away. But at the same time, you realize sometimes the truth is so dark it could destroy. And maybe that needs to happen, though. Maybe that should, maybe it should happen. We're gonna pay for our sins one day. We're gonna have to, because you can't keep on going. You can't. Society itself, I mean, it's not gonna be able to sustain this for much longer. I don't think this kind of like way of living. At some point, we're gonna have to change our ways, man. Because you don't change your ways, like you said, you do the same old thing, you're gonna get the same old results. The truth always gets suppressed and never comes out. It's always gonna be the same thing. People are always gonna be upset. You're always gonna have people fighting people. Like, so I believe that, like, maybe, I don't know. I do this every morning. I never had one person in my chat say anything to me at all. Like I said, dude, I'm telling you, man, I'm shadow banned online. I swear I am, dude. From what I say and the things I upload, I swear I'm shadow banned, bro. I have to be. I've never seen anyone just streaming for this constantly and this consistently and just getting nothing in return. Oh yeah. I also know too for a fact that like everyone's controlled online because everyone online will tell you opposite of what I'm saying. Like who else is gonna tell you take what you need, not what you want? Most people are online are tell you take what you want, you know? Like take what you want. The world is yours. Take it all. Nah, dude. You understand, man. We're not gonna cross the finish line unless we're all walking um hand in hand together. Once again, there's that one video that I hate so much. It's the guy with the kids. He's like, if you done this, step forward. If you done this, step back, blah, blah. It's like, dude, you're an idiot, bro. You're teaching the kids separation. You're a moron, dude. You know what those kids should have done? Those kids all should have waited in line together and all walked across the finish line together at one time. I hate that video. That is the worst video of all time, I want to say. It teaches nothing. It teaches nothing and it shows nothing. Except for the stupidity of people in this world. Hate that stuff, dude. That's the problem, man. Everyone's trying to take advantage of each other and try and cut the lines, bro. Everyone is. I get it, dude. Things happen in this world. The history, the past is the past. I get it. It's not our history and our past isn't exactly the brightest or the prettiest, but it happened. You can't change it. But you also got to move on from it and try to build a better future. But you can't build a better future in this world when everyone wants to play the victim and goes, I should cut the line because my people did this, or I should cut the line because of this and that. Because then it's not doing anything. Then you're marginalizing just another group of people. You're doing to other people exactly what happened to you. And you think it's justified because it happened to you first. I think 99.9% of people can agree what happened in the past is the past and probably wasn't our brightest spot in the human history. I'm pretty sure most people would agree with that. I also agree like most people today would want peace and not war and want the best for people and not the worst for people, no matter what it is. But when you start telling people they can't do certain things or act a certain way and things like that, dude, you're going to have a problem. No matter what side it is. Doesn't matter what side it is. People don't like being told what to do or what they can't do, man. Especially when other people are allowed to do it and they're not. No matter what, like I said, no matter what side it is. I'm talking like in generalities here. Because you don't because I don't see, but that's enough for my talk. I almost talked for another hour this morning. Like I said, man, I can talk, dude. YouTuber out there wants to come on stream and debate me, bring it, dude. I'm here all day, every morning. Bring it. I'll smoke ya. Come talk to a real one, dude. Anyone. Give a shit who it is.